Hello, thank you for clicking on this video. My name is Jessica and I make content about spirituality, Black culture, and life in general. But today I'm going to be talking a little bit about the unlearning movement and the Unlearning Anti-Blackness book club. I know this is a mouthful. I'm going to be giving you a couple of updates regarding the book club, giving you some background into how I chose the June book club pick, and I'm also going to be revealing what that book is. So stay tuned. I know it's been a minute since I brought a book club discussion to you. And there are a lot of reasons for that, mainly because it didn't really catch on like I thought it would. I thought more people would be interested, given the times that we're living in. So because it was just pretty much me doing the book club and reading the book, I didn't really carry out the discussions the way that I wanted to. And I was not consistent across the board with how I envisioned the book club readings to be because of that reason. So I'm not going to say lack of support, but because it was only me, it was difficult to have a book club discussion because it takes at least 2 people. But anyway, I'm going to push forward, and I made a couple of updates because I feel like as time goes by and as I'm more consistent and I get it together and present it right and just really do it instead of kind of being halfway in, halfway out because I'm scared, I'm just going to face my fear. I'm going to go ahead and do this the way that I envision it to be done so that as it blows up, because I know it will, it'll be exactly what was given to me, what was given to me creatively for this book club to look like, function, all of that. So I did create a dedicated YouTube channel for the book club. So make sure that if you are interested in these book discussions, go and subscribe to the Unlearning Anti-Blackness book club YouTube channel. I have links for the YouTube channel everywhere you can find me, on my website, on social media, here in the description box for this video. So just look for it if you want to just have all the book discussions in one place. So I'm still going to be doing them on my channel for the time being, but I do also understand that some people just want to see the book discussion. So I'll be running the same stream on that channel. But either way, it'll be a good backup channel also for you to be able to watch all the content and just keep it in place, because I like everything to be organized. I want the book club to grow outside of me, so I have to give it its own space even though it's really early. I also want to share that I have a Patreon. I know I've talked about Patreon in my last couple of live streams, but I've never really put it out there, and it's been a year that I've had it. So I will be posting more exclusive content on Patreon. And really, honestly, all of the things that I'm doing are leading up to bigger things. So you really, really want to get connected now. So you're already integrated and you know what's going on and you know the background for everything, because you waste a lot of time explaining the same old thing, and I just want to go forward with it. So Patreon is a place where if you want to support this content, you want to see this channel grow, this discussion grow, if you want to eventually, maybe I can buy books and send them to members, and I just want this to be huge because it's so necessary for right now. If you want to support that content, please consider becoming a patron at patreon.com/JessicaSimeonLofton. I have memberships that start at $3 a month and they go to $10 a month. So you decide what's best for you, what you want to contribute. And each tier comes with its own benefits. But you'll be seeing more of my Patreon page on social media and online in the coming weeks, because I'm really trying to get people, integrated into my whole little ecosystem that I'm creating here. And I guess this is a good segue into me announcing our June book club pick, but I need to make a couple of things clear. I hate my laptop. I need to just make a couple of things clear before we go into this new book for June. The name of the book is The Color of Compromise: The Truth About the American Church's Complicity in Racism. And it's by Jemar Tisby. It was forwarded by Lecrae. And this is what I feel like is a necessary book for all Christians. Right now, today, you need to be reading this. And there's a lot of reasons why I feel like that. Ultimately, I feel like the church is missing it. The Christian church has totally missed it. And I'll say this, y'all, if you are familiar with my content, if you're not, I encourage you to go back to some of the previous videos, because I really, I want to continue to go into this story, but it takes away from where I'm trying to go. So I'm just going to give you bits and pieces. And then very soon on Patreon, I will just tell the whole entire story. But for the sake of this book club, so you can understand the book club, understand why I chose that book and why I'm doing this, why I'm going forward with this, is because I'm a person who, my whole entire life, I have strived, I have tried to follow the Bible page by page. Even as a child, I've always had this desire to live righteously, to do the right thing, but at the same time, I felt like a lot of things were just, you know, what's the word? They were standards that I just could not meet. Not in my human form, not in my spiritual form. I just feel like I'm just so flawed, right? That's what I was feeling my whole life. And I came to learn that I really didn't have an understanding of God. And I really didn't have an understanding of spirituality and what it truly meant and how important and personal it was. Now, I would say that I had that understanding, but I didn't truly understand until I went through the lowest time in my life. And everybody that was around me was gone, except for my mom, my husband, and my sister. So what I'm about to say is coming from someone who has been dedicated to the church and to Christianity my entire life, made mistakes, did things that I know I shouldn't have done, you know, like sinned, right? Living in sin, doing all of that, but still very dedicated and committed to trying to do better, yet feeling like I was missing the mark, and what I'm experiencing in reality is not matching up with what I'm hearing in church and what I'm reading in scripture. So I'm like, am I missing something? Long story short, when I was going through a phase of trying to get it right, like trying to say, okay, look, I'm 32, I maybe 32, 31 at the time. What do I even believe in? Like, I've been in church, I believe in Jesus, he died and rose again, and I'm not supposed to do this, and we do this, and you know, all of these traditions and these customs and things that I have been doing my whole life, but just feeling like something like I need more. So I went through this time period where I was really seeking God, and I began to feel like I was hearing from him. And I've always been pulled in the area of politics and race and media, things that I'm really passionate about. And I know that God gave me those interests for a reason. But I was always pulled to that. And, you know, going through church, I was attending a multiracial church for the first time in my life, always being very suspicious of the whole operation, but trying to stick with it and trying to do what's right, because I'm like, maybe it's me. Well, I realized it's not me. It's not me. And since that time period, George Floyd passed, all of these things happened. Again, I just don't have the time and space to discuss it now. But I will. I promise I will. And I'm going to do it in a respectful way. But it has to be done, because I need people to know that what I'm saying and where I'm coming from, it is from a authentic, true place of wanting to do this life right and wanting to follow what I know that God is calling all humankind, all mankind to follow. And it deals a lot with the issue of anti-Blackness. And that's why I created the book club, because I brought this book to my pastors at the time, and I explained to them that this book was articulating my feelings while being at a multiracial church. It was articulating everything that I was feeling in a way that I didn't have the words for. But the author of the book, Jemar, he puts it in a way that's digestible. Now, it's not going to be new information for you if you're Black. And I started the book club off trying to come from an educational point for white people and people who, you know, we're all trying to be unified and kumbaya and all of that. But I realized that we too far gone from that. And it's time to just really deal with the reality of how white supremacy has permeated American culture and society. And Black people have suffered for it while being in the church, while serving and worshiping alongside the same people who benefit from these things but won't say anything about it. And then when you have people like me who bring attention to it, who call these things out, people like me, I experienced being outcast. If anybody who was around me at the time, if the church, anybody from the church wants to counter that, feel free. But I know what I felt, and I know what changed over time. I know what changed. And all of that, honestly, has really, it's been something that I have had long conversations with God about. Long conversations. I have cried. I've been down. I was depressed. And, you know, just to think that the people that I was trusting for spiritual guidance and life guidance were the kind of like who I really thought them to be the entire time. And even knowing how I was feeling and what I was going through, instead of drawing nearer to me, pulling back. That told me everything I needed to know. And I know that this book is something that many people need to read and need to understand to help you get why right now is so urgent, whether you Black, white, or other. The time of now is urgent because God is really exposing things, and it's a lot going on in the world. And if you are a Christian and if you believe God, then you have to be accountable for the state of this place. You have to be, especially if you are older in age. You know, I'm 33, I'm considered a millennial. If you are in the generation before me, you really have to be held accountable for this, and we need to talk about this. And even if you're in my generation, we need to be moving to a place where we can actually do something about the issue of race and anti-Blackness, and not just talk about it and not just use kid gloves with white people and with other minority groups who align themselves with whiteness. It's time to really talk about it. Playtime is over when it comes to Christianity and the issue of racism. You cannot have American Christianity without the racism. And so with this book, I'm beginning to wonder, you know, can you even take the white supremacy out of Christianity? And those are things that I want to go into in this book. Now, I also want to make a note that what really inspired this journey for me is that I came back to blogging, and I'm talking about scriptures, talking about life change and growth and all of this, and finding your purpose and really activating everything inside of you to be able to pursue it. And I found that people were not very receptive to that. A lot of Black people in my age group and younger are not open to Christianity. And as Christians, one of the things that I always was taught is that it is our job to evangelize others, which now I realize is very much like colonialism, but we'll get there. Our job is to evangelize people so that they can become part of the kingdom and become our brothers and sisters in Christ. But you can't really do that if you don't deal with the issue that's bothering them. And the issue that's bothering them is the white supremacy element, the racism element, the compromising with racism throughout the history of America. You can't blame a Black person who doesn't want to deal with Christianity. And for that reason, I hesitate to even call myself a Christian. But at the same time, I do not disbelieve in Jesus Christ. Where I'm at now, I'm still figuring it out. And because I realized that I wasn't given a choice. I wasn't really given a choice to explore religions. My parents weren't given a choice. We were not given a choice, and we were told things about African spirituality. Newsflash, there is no African American without African slavery. So just want to put that out there. But things that we've been told about African spirituality, then discovering that there was a convening of a body of church leaders who decided that certain books were not meant to be in the Bible, but other churches, just all of these things that you're told not to question and you're told not to go into. But since I've been going into it, I lost my religion, but I found God, and I'm so much better. And so I just need to warn you of where I'm at before you decide to embark on this, because it's gonna make you have questions if you really take it seriously and you take it in and you participate fully in the discussions. And I can't promise you that your religion will be intact after this. I can't promise you that, but I want to be honest with you because you've kind of seen or been a part of my journey from when I was crazy on fire Jesus, and now I'm like, hold up, wait. So I just I'm in this with you. But in the midst of it also, I do not want to lose the unlearning anti-blackness aspects of it, because whether you are white or black people harbor anti-black views. I have harbored them myself. I have dealt with colorism, elitism, all of that in my own life. Things that I now have to unlearn. We have been conditioned to be these people who just accept what's given to us without actually thinking and making our own decision. We're really making the decision that someone else is telling us to do. And I think that's been more than proven by President Biden being in office and black people being the only group who has not gotten any executive action despite being the group that put him in office. So these things, I'm gonna quote from my former pastor: you can't do anything about the history. The history is the history. But guess what? The history continues to repeat itself. So we want to deal with that with this book. Again, the book is The Color of Compromise by Jemar Tisby. Thank y'all for watching. If you have not subscribed to my channel on YouTube, please do so now. Please make sure you tap into the Unlearning Movement on Instagram. Also, if you're interested and want to support this content and help me make more, visit me on Patreon and choose a membership tier. Depending on your tier, you might get a free gift. But yeah, I think that's it. Thank y'all for watching. I love y'all. I can't wait. Just prepare yourself mentally and spiritually for these topics. It's going to be rough. It's going to be triggering. I'm letting you know now. I've already started reading and preparing for the first discussion. And you're going to need it. Whoever you pray to, whoever you want to pray to, whatever you want to do, just get yourself in a position to talk about something very difficult, but for a very, very good, important, and necessary reason. Thank y'all again. I'm done for real this time. I'll see y'all in the next video.